My name is Perry Young. I just got my JD, my law degree, just this May, and I'd like to provide some comments as a student of the law, as a student of the Clean Water Act, and as a citizen. And one of the things that I've learned from studying the Clean Water Act over the past 3 years is that the Army Corps of Engineers has really historically completely ignored and abdicated its responsibilities under the Clean Water Act to enforce Section 404 with regards to the filling of the nation's waterways with mining waste. So it's good to see with the commencement of this hearing that the Army Corps of Engineers is looking at finally following the law for the first time in my lifetime, in my 32 years of life. The Clean Water Act bans dumping outright of mining waste into the nation's waterways, and any controversy that we've heard about this is very clearly a last-ditch attempt of the coal industry and their enabling agencies within the federal government to end run around this provision of the law, which is crystal clear. It's good to see that the Army Corps has come to terms with those very clear terms at this point. What makes the Clean Water Act's provisions around mining waste in the nation's waterways even more clear is looking at the very beginning of the Clean Water Act. The purpose statement of the Clean Water Act says, in no uncertain terms, that the objective of Congress in passing the Clean Water Act in the first place was to eliminate all water pollution from the nation's waterways by the 1980s. Clearly, we've missed that mark. We all know that there's pollution in our waterways today, but that brings into focus the purpose of banning mining waste from the nation's waterways. We don't want any mining waste in the nation's waterways. Congress has been very, very clear, very explicit about that. So the agencies and the industries end run around that with Nationwide Permit 21 has been clearly outside the bounds of the Clean Water Act's restrictions. I'm actually opposed to the modification of Nationwide Permit 21 because I don't want to see nationwide permits used anymore for the permitting of coal mining, surface mining. What we need to do is get rid of the nationwide permits and establish permit by permit review for every single permit application that comes up. Looking at the purpose statement of the Clean Water Act, we can see that the level of care that Congress wanted the Army Corps of Engineers to take in ensuring that no mining waste, no pollution of any kind gets into the nation's waterways demands that we have that kind of very close permitting attention to every single application that comes through the gate. Finally, we've heard a lot about the need for energy and the need for jobs. I just want to say as a citizen, from a citizen of the state of Kentucky, where every single waterway in the state is not safe.
Mr. Hodge, come forward, please.
Hello, my name is Chris Irwin. I am the staff attorney from United Mountain Defense. I am a sixth-generation Knoxvillian, according to Uncle Buford, being the first general store here. Pardon me if I gasp for air while I speak. According to the American Lung Association, I probably have reduced lung capacity because of the coal emissions in the Great Central Valley. That's one of the #1 things that puts our children in the hospital, by the way. We're also typically #1 in the nation for children's asthma, and also the #1 thing that puts our children in the hospital in East Tennessee is respiratory problems. So you might want to think about that before you laugh. Like the movie, then, how about a joke? What do unicorns and clean coal have in common? They're both mythological creatures. It doesn't exist. This nationwide permit has been basically a rubber stamp. And no two mines are the same, no two creeks are the same, no two mountains are the same. Having one-size-fits-all permits has failed. It's failed miserably. It's failed in the field. You can go north of here and look at Claiborne County, and you see bright orange streams going into the waters of the United States. It is not working. It gives me heart to see so many people from Knoxville here, and apparently so few people from Tennessee support this strip mining that's happening that the coal companies had to engage in some twisted form of affirmative action and bring people from Virginia and other states. But you know what? It's appropriate that we are meeting here today because this is about tourism. Our #1 employer in our state is tourism. That's what this place is for, that we're in the structure tonight. Tourists don't come to see blown up mountains, orange streams. It's not there for that. Also, I would ask that you add Alabama to that list, northern Alabama. I think that's important. And also in terms of we need flat land. Less than 1% of strip mine land post-mine is used for any retail, wholesale structures. It's usually just open fields. desolate wastelands. We are turning the most biologically diverse forests on the planet into the equivalent of a parking lot. We're also blowing up our highland watersheds, which produce clean drinking water for another million years for a few years short-term profit of coal. We have a strategic interest in our water supplies. The Appalachians are the Saudi Arabia of clean drinking water. It would be like the Saudis were blowing up their oil fields to get the gravel underneath. It makes no sense. That's what makes what's happening in the coal fields and the watersheds of the Appalachians a crime of geologic proportion that's going on right now. We are literally robbing the very future. If a foreign country or a terrorist group blew up our watersheds, we would call it an act of the most despicable terrorism. We would call it an act of war. We have a strategic interest in the country in defending and protecting our clean drinking water sources. Nobody's buying bottled river water anymore, gentlemen. We're draining our aquifers. We need the Army Corps of Engineers to step in and get involved because currently the nationwide permit has been a complete failure. Thank you.